Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Daily Masters cast. This is going to be Hairy Muppet, and yeah, once again, WCS Season 2 finals. So many good games, and we are going to be casting a hell of a lot of them, not only in our tournament cast, which starts from the quarterfinal, but also in our Daily Masters. So here we go, down the bottom left side of the map, it is going to be our blue Zerg player, Scarlett, otherwise known as Toss Imba. But yes, that is Scarlett, and down the bottom right side of the map, it is going to be our red Terran player, Maru Prime, and his name is Maru, I believe, and Prime may relate to his clan. I think that may be how it works. I would just have to go on the good old second monitor and check it out. Yes, he is playing for the Prime clan, and there we go. So his name is Maru, and I think I've seen a lot of players playing for the Prime clan. They go for Prime at the end because it sounds pretty cool. It really does sound pretty cool. So yeah, moving on, a nice ZVT. Yeah, that's right, ZVT. And yeah, we will have to see how this goes, because so far the last two games we've just been seeing Protoss players, and yeah, it's been some interesting matchups. They've been doing quite a lot of that top heavy play that I've been talking about, getting the very high level units out very, very quickly, and I don't know whether they are going for the very late game or whether they're just hoping that it'll work. But in both plays, they actually got just knocked out at the 15-minute mark by a low-tech, high macro, high army level, just a lot of units at the 15-minute level. Nothing really crazy, just maybe a couple of Vikings, a couple of Vipers mixed in to sort of take care of the Colossus, and that's pretty much it. So really, really nice. This drone is very, very, very aggressive, but eventually going to get chased away, and he might actually be able to take out this SCV. Oh, there he goes, going in, and oh, just, yeah, that SCV is almost certainly going to go down. No, he's not going to chase it. He's going to go for this guy again. And the SCV coming out, going to have an attack, and the SCV actually has more help, so now it is the drone's chance to run. And where is a Marine when you need one? The barracks isn't even built yet, so unfortunate. And where's that hero SCV? Over here. He's down to 1 health, and this drone finally getting chased away, so some very, very nice drone harass from Scarlett. Doing a great job, and the drone is going to regen by the time it gets home. And here we go, we've got the double expansion out. Very, very early, actually. This guy's almost finished, so he must, sorry, Scarlett must have, yeah, just gone for very, very early stuff. And yeah, really, 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 really nice. So moving on, getting some stuff down, and yeah, the spawning pool only now coming out for Scarlett, so it's a pretty late pool, but I don't think Scarlett has to worry too much about an early attack from Maru. I mean, she knows exactly what sort of stuff he's building. She knows that he's going for the early expansion, so she can afford to get for a very, very late pull. In this case, it's going to result in some late queens, but that's fine. I mean, you get the early third out nice and quick, and yeah, right now Maru is going to be thinking, all right, that's a very early third, man. So what am I going to do against that? And I don't know. I don't know what his plan's going to be. I assume Triple M, but he's actually going for a very, very early third base as well. Very wisely not building it out at the third base location, but he is building it nonetheless. And this Overlord, just barely managing to get out of the way. So yeah, pretty nice job. This guy can regen all the way until the first Viking comes out, which won't be for another few minutes. Just building a whole bunch of units over here, getting some stuff up, just getting the expansion fully mining, and getting a nice little bit of defense there to knock away those toolings. So he's going to be fine. So moving on, well, I can't believe it, man. I'm still yawning. It's still, yeah, so not good. Not good at all. But look at this drone production from Scarlett. Really, really going nuts on the macro. She knows that she has time to burn. She knows that Maru is not going to go nuts very early in the game on her. So she's getting out a ton of drones. She's got a 12 drone advantage, and she is not stopping there. She's just continuing to push out, to move out, and to get a whole bunch of good stuff and Maru focusing on his economy right now. I don't know if he has any idea how many drones are really just coming out. A couple of Ling's going to be chasing away that SCV coming in for a bit of a scout, actually killing it. So that was quite an aggressive game of tag they were playing there. They just went a little bit too far, and then the Lings are like, oh shit, we better get out of here. I think he's not moving anymore. So yeah, a bunch of Hellions coming out. Maru playing pretty standard right now. He's playing very standard, and Scarlett not playing standard at all, going for an incredibly economic build here, and only now just starting to get out any semblance of military units. And so, the Queens will be able to defend against the Hellions, no doubt. So that's going to be fine. But sooner or later, Scarlett is going to have to think about, what do I want to do here? What do I want to do in this game? Because she cannot macro up forever. Sooner or later, the Triple M is going to be out, and I think it'll be around the just a couple more minutes, and Maru will have a decent number of Marines and Marauders and a couple of medevacs. And in that case, then he will be able to start doing some serious damage. You might be able to do some serious damage now, actually, with 4 Hellions, but Ling's going to be chasing these guys. They get in a great position, but there's just too many Lings all over the place, and the Queen providing support. Those Hellions are going to go down. They took quite a few Lings and maybe a couple of workers, but 11 more workers come out, so this is absolutely a stupid amount of economy coming out, and she may actually get away with it, because right now Maru, I don't think he knows exactly how insane the economy for Scarlett is. He may have an idea though, because he's moving out a second group of 4 Hellions, and this is pretty unorthodox. Most players, they'd send out the first 4 and then they'd switch back into Triple M. Maru's sending out the second 4. Maybe he senses a vulnerability in Scarlett's play. He didn't see any roaches at the 9-minute mark, so he's like, okay, no roaches at the 9-minute mark, just Lings. Maybe I can make something happen here. With 6 Hellions, he may very well be able to. 2 Queens out, coming out the front, but 6 Hellions can actually destroy a single Queen if they focus fire it. There's Overlord over in the corner, morphing into an Overseer, and now he's going to get away from there, so really nice job there. The creep spread going to help Scarlett fend off these Hellions quite nicely. They're trying to do a bit of a split here, but that didn't, I don't know why they were trying to do a split. They're just meeting down there and they took opposite sides. Scarlett getting down a 4th base at almost the 11-minute mark, and we can see she is going for Baneling speed. She's going for Ling upgrade. She's going for a Spire, so it's going to be massive amount of Mutiling coming out for Scarlett. And yeah, these Lings actually doing a pretty good job trying to flank the Hellions here, and they're going to do a pretty good job chasing them into a corner, but they're getting in range of the Marines now and taking out a ton of Hellions, but choosing to run away at that point to try and save her Lings, sorry. And the Queen's getting way out of position, and they're going to have to back off because, yeah, a bunch of stimming Marines coming in there, and they're going to be taking care of the creep as well. So quite a bit of work just lost there, but 3 more Overseers coming out and a bunch of Marines coming out as well. But yeah, Scarlett definitely needs to start working on her Baneling numbers with this very serious amount of Marines in there. Mutas do not want to go anywhere near that force. She needs the Banelings. Luckily, Baneling speed is just about to pop off, so that's going to be nice, but she definitely needs to get those Baneling numbers up and in the way. There's Lings are going to try and do something here, and here we go, beautiful timing. The Lings coming in first, and then the Mutas, and these guys are going to run out of speed boost sooner or later. And there we go, the Muta's going to be attacking them, dropping down the Marines, but the Marines are dropping down right into a field of Lings, and a bunch more Lings coming in here, but mostly getting wiped out by some beautiful Widowmine hits. And there we go, going to have to back up, going to try and stim in, but the Overseers may die, some of them, but then again they may not. And I feel like the creep spread for Scarlett is getting very serious over here, really going in and covering half the base at the 13-minute mark, half the map. Very impressive, but of course she wants to stop the Terran player from going in as much as possible, because of course she does not want him to know that she has a 4th base for the longest time possible. He does not currently know that she has a 4th base, so far the plan is working, and the Lings going in, doing quite a bit, but the Lings are fairly ineffectual versus the Marauders, and quite nicely, Maru Prime keeping the Marauders ahead of his Ling pack, of his Marine pack, sorry. So the Lings go in, they attack the Marauders first, the Marines second, and Very, very nice. But we've got to start seeing some heavy baling numbers on the map. Here we go. The Muta's doing a great job microing to attack those bloody Widow Mines. So that's going to be pretty nice. And these guys are going to have to back off a little bit. They're not too thrilled about going out without Widow Mine support, especially considering how many guys are out there. And I mean, Scarlett's looking pretty good, but the creep spread not quite as pushed out as she would want it at this moment. So you're going to have to do something about that by getting out a ton more Balings, and she can seriously wipe this army out in one fell swoop if she fights them on creep. But that is a bit if. They're going to stim in, hit the Balings on the side, and cancelling the ones that she knew were going to die. So really, really great micro, macro sort of stuff there. The Balings moving in, but they're going to stim and run, and they are off creep, so they do have a half-decent chance of surviving, leaving the Marauders back while the Marines are running. So using the Marauders to sort of just take up all the damage, but Scarlett trying to micro the Lings to attack the Marauders and not micro the Balings to actually hit the Marauders. I don't know how successful she was, because I feel like the Balings still hit a fair amount of Marauders, but mostly doing a great job. And suddenly the Mutas are right in the base. They took out all of those dropships, all of the Marines dying. A few of them got out, but they died straight away from the glaive damage from the Mutas. And what it comes down to is it doesn't matter if the Banelings really got off the hits they needed, because this Muta pack is just so huge, and this economic advantage that Scarlett has carved out for herself is just completely insane. I mean, the Lings, you'd expect that many Lings at this point in the game, but you would not expect that many Mutas. 30 Mutas at the 15-minute mark. That is completely insane, and she just completely overwhelmed Maru's entire force. This clutch amount of Marines coming back out sort of saved himself a little bit, but the base did go down. A ton of workers went down, and now this base is going to be hit as well. It's a planetary, but a planetary cannot do shit versus Mutas, and a bunch of Marines are going to scare these Mutas away, though. They do not want to die to Marine fire, and now this base is going to be way open. He needs to send she needs to send a bunch of Balings in here to try and hit these guys, and there they are, the Balings coming in. She's got two bases to pick from here, third and the fourth. She can go for either one, and here we go. The Bailey is going to come around, they're going to head straight for the army with some Ling support, and this is going to be freaking huge, because it doesn't matter if the Lings are in the way. Once the Balings are in the way, it's going to be all over the place, and the Balings completely finishing off this force. A nice Widow Mine hit on the Mutas, but it's not going to be enough. The base going down again, and now the fourth base is wide open. There's no way that Maru can defend it properly, but it looks like Scarlett may just go for the win here. And yeah, just really, really awesome stuff. And this base, another Widow Mine hit, but it takes 2 or 3 Widow Mine hits to kill the Mutas, so it's only really helpful if you've got a lot of them. And there we go, just going for the workers, taking out a ton of workers. Marine reinforcements coming out at a nice rate. You can see this is the production tab, this is not the units tab. He's building 13 Marines at once, and it is only by this stupidly large amount of macro that he has continued to keep himself in the game, but it's just not enough. He just cannot stand up to the sheer early economy that Scarlett managed to get out. Is just completely insane. And I mean, 40 Mutalisks at the 18-minute mark. It's absolutely nuts, and she did a very good job at keeping them alive, not running them into the Marines when she wasn't certain that she could wipe them out. And yeah, just really, really nice job, and quite a decisive victory there. But it really came down to not taking care of that economy early on. I mean, there's a point where your opponent builds so much economy and so little army units that you've got to hit them. You've got to hit them early if you're seeing that they're producing that many workers. And it's very hard to tell how many workers there are, and it's very hard to transition into that sort of early hitting sort of strategy, because, I mean, basically for the first 10 minutes, people have their set build. They say, alright, I'm going to fast expand, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, blah, 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 and they love doing that. And then once they get out, they start saying, oh, this guy's doing this, I'll get that instead, or I'll go for Triple M and I'll get some Vikings to deal with this, and blah, blah, blah. The first 10 minutes, they got to get that early expansion. They got to do this, they got to do that, they got to start thinking about a third at this time. And it really, really screwed over Maru at this point, because Scarlett went over the top economy, getting a ton of workers. So in the first 10 minutes, she went completely outside the normal strategy. She just went for complete workers really, really fast. And Maru did not change his tactic to really deal with that. Basically, what's this icon for? Tissue regeneration. Regenerates life faster than most Zerg units. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted, but he didn't change to match Scarlett's change. He didn't say, alright, she's going for a crap load of workers. I'm going to not get a third base. Instead, I'm going to get out 2 or 3 more barracks. I'm going to get some reactors on them. And I'm just going to go for pure Marine Marauder. I'm not even going to tech up to medevacs. I'm not even going to tech up to any serious factory units. I'm going to go for pure Marine Marauder. I'm going to hit her hard at the 7-8 minute mark. And that is what he needed to do. And that would have been quite a decisive victory, I feel like. He could have potentially just wiped her out in one fell swoop, because she had nothing in terms of army units, absolutely nothing. But he played it standard, and playing it standard lost him the game, I feel like, because he just didn't have the economy he needed. So there we go, beautiful ZVT or TvZ, and yeah, congratulations to Scarlett for taking that game out. And I believe, no, actually I don't believe, I don't know what I'm talking about, but yeah, moving on. There we go. Thank you very much for watching this game. This has been Hairy Muppet. I hope you enjoyed it.